Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode. This one is about tapping personal networks to drive business with the Crystal Smithman. She is a counselor, but at first she was my friend in summer camp. So I remember her inviting me to her summer camp pool party, and my mom being like, "Nina, this is gonna be a political pool party." I was like, "No, mom, Crystal's my friend." And there was that first time I learned about politics in Birmingham, about the Smithman family. But they always treated me like family when I was there. So it's never politics, only greatness. I have never told Crystal this story until this moment. So I wanted to surprise her, but not have y'all her facial reaction. So y'all can't see it, but I can. So just to make it personal, that is what tapping personal networks to drive business is all about. So that's what Crystal's going to talk about today. If you're ready, go ahead, Crystal, and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I don't know if you're in Birmingham. It's a nice rainy Saturday. But thank you, Nina, for this opportunity. This is so great. Like she said before, my name is Crystal Smitherman. So I have multiple hands, multiple hats I wear. But my first love, my first job is actually being an attorney. I graduated from the University of Alabama School of Law, like Nina, Roll Tide. We are sorry, that's my dog. He's my little mascot. I graduated from the University of Alabama School of Law last May. I passed the July 2019 bar, and now I'm working with my father at the Smitherman Law Offices, and which was started by my mother and my father in the late 90s. In my other life, like Nia said, I serve on the Birmingham City Council, District 6. I have been in that position for almost 2 years. And so today, when Nina gave me the opportunity, she said, "Hey, I'm having a Black Women Mean Business Summit. I really would like for you to speak." And of course, whenever Nina asks me to do something, I'm going to say yes. So I was thinking of a topic. What is something that people really could use right now? We're in the midst of a pandemic. We all are trying to drive our own business, try to find our niche. Trying to improve our networking and try to advance ourselves, especially if we're young millennials. So I came up with the title Tapping Personal Connections to Drive Your Business. Because honestly believe everything that you need is right in your hands. You have all the tools that you need to be successful. I believe in America, it really is a pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. And I really think networking, making connections is important. A lot of times it's not about what you know, but it's about who you know. Who you know will get you the job you want, the dream job you want, the dream career you want, can help you to ace that class or give you the door to open into a new opportunity. So really, I just want to make it a little bit easier for people to just use the tools they have. We're all at home, quarantine, as multiple states are shutting down right now. This is a great opportunity for you to go through all your connections and see how they can help you with your business. So, first things first, have you, give me 1 second. Have you ever noticed that moving forward in your career actually, one Have you ever noticed that moving forward in your career really comes down to networking? Nina, give me 1 second.
You good. Dog said he gonna be on camera. He want his camera time. He want his camera time, y'all. So y'all know things come up. You know, our pets are needy. So, be patient. Be patient.
Have another speaker with us, Charlie. But have you ever noticed that moving forward in your career comes down to networking? I found a 2013 Wall Street Journal that said 80% of job openings are never advertised. Isn't that crazy? Like all these job openings that are available for people. Yeah, he does want to speak. For all these people, really comes down to all those business cards you collect at all these conferences and these lunches, those LinkedIn connections you all have. We're going to talk about how you can use those things to advance your business and how you can use those things to really make sure you stay on a person's mind without being annoying or really being a stalker. So, and connections, it's a lot more than what you think. It could be that family friend who is in the same industry that you want to go into. It could be your employer, it could be your colleagues. It could even be the person you see at the grocery store every other week when you go. It could be your church member. You have so many different ways that you can make connections. So we're going to talk about that. So I know the biggest question that's on your mind is, so how can I stay on people's minds without being annoying or really just making them not want to talk to me? So we're going to talk about that as well. So here's some simple tips to stay on your contacts radar regularly, but not obsessively. So the first thing is reach out on social media. I feel like everybody's on social media now, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of that. And it's really, really just simple, just things you do every day. Something you can do is just simply just like their posts. If it's something like say for example Nina, if I see Nina post something about she's having a trademarks seminar, I could like her post, or I can even share her post, or I could be like, good job, I can't wait to go to, or I could share the post and be like, hey, if you really want to get your trademark down, Nina has a seminar coming up, sign up for it. And then when you do stuff like that, that keeps people's keep you on their mind. They think, oh, well, Crystal liked my post, or Crystal shared my post. She really helped for me to increase my range in order to reach potential customers or clients. And so that'll make sure, if, say for instance, there's a referral in mind for, because we do like a family law. So if there's something with family law, because I just was on Nina's mind, she'll remember me to give me a referral. So that's something you can do. Always keep up for profile updates and everything else. And so that's very, very important. So first one is reach out on social media. Number two, schedule regular check-ins. It doesn't have to be every week. It doesn't have to be every month. Every 60 days, you check in on somebody. Nothing much, something simple. You can be like, hey, how's it going? Or, hey, I thought of you. Here's an article. And you can put a link to a publication, an industry publication. So you're probably asking, Crystal, well, what if I reach out to somebody multiple, one or two times, and they're not responding to me? Well, in that case, only reach out if you have a really, really good reason for it, which means maybe there's a job opening coming up, or maybe it's something you need advice on industry. Like, for example, in law school, if I reached out to an attorney that I knew that worked at a healthcare law firm, I reached out to them and said, hey, how's it going? I'm thinking about going to the healthcare industry. Can you give me some advice? And we all know people are really, really busy. So don't let it be a blow to your ego, thinking like, oh, they don't want to talk to me, da. You have to understand people have busy schedules. So what I would do from there is I'll wait a couple of weeks, maybe a month, depending on the deadline for internships I need to apply for. And like, hey, just following up on my email. I still would love to get advice for you. And usually by that time, I would usually get an email saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I've been busy. I've been having trials and hearings coming up. Let's set up a coffee date. Let's set up a lunch date. Bam. There you go. And you never know, from that coffee date or that lunch date, it could come up into an internship, or they have a contact that can lead to your dream internship. So you have to really just put yourself out there, be strategic about it, because you need to have a balance between being ambitious and authentic, because you don't want to come across as someone who only comes around and only networks and make connections when you need something. But you should really network people um, all the time, and really just be a helpful hand. And lastly, you may think, well, what if I've reached out several times and they still haven't reached out back to me? Well, that, unfortunately, just to be blunt, that means they just don't want to deal with you. And that's okay, because there are there are billions of people in the world. So they're not the only person that can give you the access and the keys and the tools for you to be able to get into your dream internship, your dream career, or your new pathway. The third thing is show your gratitude. People really, really appreciate your gratitude. So if you have a professor or a mentor or employer that gave you like a good piece of advice, or help get your foot in the door. You can just show gratitude by writing notes. Handwritten notes are always the best thing. For example, in my other life, I'm a counselor. When I was campaigning, I wrote every single person that donated to my campaign a handwritten note, which my hands started cramping up and everything else. But I think it means a lot more. It's more sincere and genuine when you send somebody a handwritten note. It can be something like, "Thank you so much for giving me advice, for mentoring me. It meant to me a lot." Give them a quick little update on what's going on in your life. Let's catch up soon. Let's have coffee or lunch. There we go. That's 5-10 minutes out of your day. And the second way is if someone really, really impacted your life, I mean, like, they are the reason you are in your career. They were the reason that you were able to get that school acceptance letter or whatever. You can send them a nice gift, just something small, something like a book. Like, for example, President Barack Obama just had a new book come out. If you know your mentor loves President Barack Obama, which, I mean, who doesn't love Obama, then you could get them that book and say, "Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I don't say this a lot, but thank you." And so they'll remember that. And guess what? When something comes up again that they can help you up with, they'll see that book and they say, "Hey, Crystal gave me that book. Well, let me continue to help her out because she's very grateful." Because a lot of people don't show their gratitude towards people when they try to help you out. The fourth thing is share your talent. Everybody has God given talents and gifts. If you can help somebody advance their business, do it. It could be something as if, for example, maybe you're good at planning events, for example, on the side. You can say, "Hey, do you need help with a networking event between your company and different other companies, or do you need more interns? I can come and help put a networking event together between college students or grad students in your company, just to have a little like business happy hour and an informal um, interviews." You can do that. If you're good at social media management, maybe you can give them advice on how they can manage their social media better. Or if you know somebody, or if you have a friend or something that you know would be really good with their marketing and social media, you give it out to them. And that helps you, like I said before, really be able to network people, not only when you need something, but just all around. And you can network people in order to help them out as well. So it shows that you're positive and you want others to thrive. And you always want to keep a positive spirit no matter what you do. Being positive will always attract more people to you. Number 5, always update your contacts list. It could be something simple. Maybe you haven't done it right now. You could do a Google Doc and you put the person's name, their career, their company, their contact information, and you continuously update it. So, for example, if you need to make that connection, you can have the most current information for them. And also, number 2, you need to do it for yourself. You need to update your own information. So if you have a LinkedIn account, make sure you have your update education, your skills, what company you're at, um, your updated contact information. So if people want to reach out and contact you, they have the most current and relevant information that they have. Number 6, the most important one, give them space. We talked about that earlier. Um, People are really busy, and like I said, you have to put your ego aside, but just always reach out to people. We're dealing, especially right now, we're dealing with a pandemic, and people are just not only dealing with professional lives, but they're dealing with their personal lives. They're dealing with the mental exhaustion of having to stay at home, worry about contracting a virus and now a vaccine. So give people a little bit more grace. um, but just like I said, contact people every 60 days, just seeing how they're doing. Actually, I just thought about it. It's Christmas time. Something you could do is, I know as attorneys, they always give referring attorneys bottles of wine or Christmas gifts, just something small to tell them, "Hey, Merry Christmas. I was just thinking of you." Simple way. It doesn't take that much time, that much money. You do that, and that keeps that person, you keep I'm sorry, you stay on that person's mind, and that's a really thoughtful thing that they think of, like, oh, Crystal took the time out to really give me a Christmas gift and show her appreciation for us being each other's lives for referrals. So you may be asking, so Crystal, what's the difference between networking and connections? So networking is more of an activity. It's where you connect with someone who you can have potential connections with that can help you to further your career. Well, with networking, it can be a hit or miss, honestly. It honestly just depends on how well you work the room or how well you work the conference. But I think it's the most important thing is making a connection, because you can network with somebody, and honestly, you may see them for the conference and you may see them out and about, somewhere in Birmingham or downtown, and say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, just contact me. Let's have coffee. And then maybe, you know how it is sometimes, it may never happen. But making a connection with someone, that is so special because it's so genuine and authentic. And connections, they can lead you to so many things. Connections can lead you to a new business, new referrals, new investors, new business partners. They can lead to lasting friendships, business alliances. It can open doors for you. It can open doors for you. That's the most important thing. Like I said, it's not what you know sometimes, but who you know. And not only that, they can advise you on the best practices, because honestly, sometimes you just need some advice. Like, you just need somebody to guide you and be like, hey, I just really need some advice. Like, I'm really stuck. I don't know what to do. And that connection that you made, which can turn into a mentor, can be somebody you can have for the rest of your life. I had some great mentors. One of my most favorite mentors is attorney Sharon Hamilton Broach. I've been knowing her all my life. If it wasn't for her, I don't know if I could have passed the bar the first time. She stayed with me from the time I studied for the LSAT. She was always on me. She called me every day saying, hey, did you study for the LSAT? To law school, encouraging me. She helped me do a study schedule. When she had her own office, she opened up her office to me to study and for my classmates to study. All throughout when I studied for the bar, she said, hey, we're going to have a schedule together. Here we go. And I passed the bar. Even afterwards, she said, hey, these are some of my friends or some of my colleagues that can really help you in healthcare and family law. And that's what I'm saying. You build a connection for the rest of your life. And even though I've been practicing for a year, I can call on Sharon for anything personal or professional. And that's why it's so important to have connections. And that's just one thing that you never thought of. Sharon has lived beside my parents and my granny for years. And I never would have thought that the person I see every day would be the one person I can make a connection with that has advanced my legal career for the last 5 or 6 years. Um, if you have a business, businesses with connections are so adaptable. You can really tell the difference between a business that has decent connections and great connections. It helps your business to thrive. It's easier to pass information along, and it shows your business can withstand sudden changes as well. So I have 3 do's and 3 don'ts. So do ask for referrals. You may not use the referral today, but you will need that referral tomorrow or in 6 months or a year. Do be accessible. Make sure you always keep your phone near you. Always check your email every day. You never know when you'll get that email that will help you open that door for that opportunity that you need. Number 3, do share why you're the best business decision. This is almost like have like a 30-second elevator pitch. Say why you're the best person. You could say, I have great customer service. I have great writing skills. I have great event plan skills. I'm very punctual, personable. You just say it's almost like a little mini interview. Um, and then the 3 don'ts. Don't assume they know about your experience. Just like I said, have your 30-second elevator pitch, because you want to talk to them as if this is somebody who walked up to you at this on the street and it's like, hey, why should I do business with you, or why should I hire you, or why should I help you uh, advance your career? Don't push too hard. We talked about that earlier. Don't harass people. Don't stalk them. Just put yourself in their shoes. and say, how often would I like a reminder? How often, how would I feel about that? Another don't come off as desperate. Stay professional, but always stay persistent. It's always the early bird gets the worm, the persistent worm gets the bird gets the worm. I'm sorry. And also, continue to be genuine and authentic. And also, when you make those connections and when you do network and when you do make it to where you want to be, always reach back and help somebody else in need. And I think that's the most important thing we have to remember as young, middle aged, older, seasoned professionals is that we always need to help somebody in need, because the more you advance somebody else, the more you can advance and build upon yourself and your character. So it's so important to foster those communities, those connections, those relationships, and that can help you to tap into those connections to help advance and drive your business and your potential as well. So I think I'm done. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I've had such a great time talking to you all. Thank you.
Awesome, Crystal. So now it's time for some questions so the audience can get to know you a little bit better. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So, first question is tell me more about you that I can't find on paper. So, of all the stuff that you've told me, what's the stuff that's off book that would really help us get to know the real Crystal?
Something, well, I think something that's not on paper about why am I an attorney, why am I in politics. I really genuinely care about my community. That's something, whether it's my clientele or my district or the city of Birmingham. I really believe that I am put on earth to make people's lives better. And so, whether if that's me being an attorney and helping a single mother to get a divorce from a husband who won't give her any child support, and she's struggling, she really just needs somebody to help her out. Or it could be doing guardian ad litem cases for a young child in an accident and make sure that they get the settlement money they need, so when they turn 19 they have all the tools they need to be a successful person in life. Being a counselor, because I was born and raised in my district, um, I want to see my community thrive the way it is. I know how it used to be and how it can be. I do see the potential for it. And I also, another thing is, I've been told I have a bleeding heart, so I'm very sympathetic and I have a soft heart. So I always want to make sure people are doing well.
So the next question is let's talk about your struggle. A lot of people don't believe that you struggled to get where you are. A lot of people believe that, they see the success, but they don't see all the stuff that led up to where you are. So let's talk about the struggle and getting to where you are now.
Oh, the struggle. I think we are our biggest we are our own biggest enemies. So I think it was really becoming mentally strong. Nina, you were in law school. I really think law school made a woman out of me, really, because it was when it was 2 o'clock in the morning studying for finals. And I'm thinking, man, do I really still want to be an attorney? But it was really having to just sit down, pray, get some more coffee or get a energy drink and get back to studying those points as well. And also, just being a black female is just hard in a white male dominated field. Just not letting anybody discourage me, and knowing that who I am and what I am is based off of what God says I am, and to know that God gave me a purpose in life, and it was to be an attorney and to serve in public office.
Awesome. So the next question you will appreciate because this is like the big ticket item nowadays. Diversity is important, but what do you do to be more inclusive and encourage others to as well right now in any position you're in, law school, law firm, and in your position
Mhm.
as a woman?
So the biggest thing I can think about is actually something that happened 2 years ago. So the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, I think they partnered with Safe Zone Alliance. But anyways, I won an essay contest. It was at the University of Alabama. They did one for the undergrad side and for the law school side. And basically I talked about um, how close-minded I was towards the LBGTQ uh, I plus community, and how once I did the safe zone training, which basically was free training for anybody at the law school. And it was basically they taught us all the signs that we need to know, all the proper terms and everything else. So, and they gave us a sticker, and it's actually on the faculty doors as well. And basically it says, hey, like, I'm an ally for you. Or if any student that was a part of that community that was suicidal, they will tell them, hey, go talk to this person. I didn't realize how close minded I was um, towards the community. Not saying like I was homophobic or anything. It was just, as a cis heterosexual female, I had to step outside my comfort zone and really, really understand what's going on with this community, and really learn that my privilege of being a cis heterosexual female can help advance those people who are hurting in that community. And so I think it's by being understanding of people, being open minded, not being judgmental, always include people in the room, and make sure that they're involved, because it's not enough just to make sure that you include people of different races and different cultures in the room. Make sure they're involved. And if you're the only person in the room of your race, of your culture, make sure you stand up for your race as well. And make sure you, like I talked about before, reach back and help other people who look just like you be able to have the same opportunities as you do.
So tell us about an innovation strategy that you developed during COVID-19 that's allowed your business to kind of thrive more, or even in the community you serve, like anything you did for the community that was useful, that should be used for a technique for helping in COVID-19.
I think, as well as a city councilor, I made sure people still saw me in the community. And you can still, and I was still able to do that during social distancing guidelines, and really just make sure I came up with different events to help people out, which was um, giving them hot lunches, which you may not think is a lot, but it really means that to somebody who has lost their job and um, may not have as much money to be able to eat, and just giving somebody a free meal for the day and hand sanitizer and masks. Really, I really wanted people to know that I cared. For Christmas, I'm doing different Christmas events because I really want people in my district to have the best Christmas they can, no matter what the circumstances are. In the law firm, just making sure that I was accessible to people, and also using different virtual techniques like Zoom, WebEx, and also making sure that people, even though we're in a pandemic, doing payment plans, and just really making sure that I checked up on my clients, because I think the same thing applies. What I told you all, you still need to check up on your clients and your customers often. If you haven't heard from your customers or clients, just check up on them. It may not be that they're ignoring you or anything, they may just be going through something. So I think that's the biggest thing, just making sure you're accessible and personable, and making sure that people know that you're there for them.
What's a pro
What?
tip to use when I doubt myself or somebody else doubts themselves? So this is usually a common question. A lot of people doubt themselves, and a lot of people really don't believe that they can tap into their personal network. So when I
Yeah.
doubt I can do that, what is a pro tip you have?
Yeah. So I definitely am a believer of affirmations. I think they're great. Um if I'm really down, I do that. Bible verses as well. And always, I think when I started, I know it's different, but when I started law school, they told us to always remember your why. And you need to put up your why somewhere. I don't know if it's in your bathroom or somewhere. And remember, this is the reason why I want to advance in this career. And also, I don't do as often now. I put different sayings and affirmations on my bathroom mirror, like in what Mary Jane did in Becoming Mary Jane. I know it's kind of corny, but it really helped me out when I was down. And also just see that, and referring to other people that are in your career. For example, I'm trying to think of somebody. We can use a golf analogy like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods didn't win all of his matches and all of his tournaments. And what, instead of being down about that, he would go out and hit 1,000 more balls every day. And from that loss, he was able to learn his what he did wrong and what he did right and expand upon him. And we all know Tiger Woods is one of the best golfers in the world. So always remember there are better days ahead, and there are people who have done the same thing you have done, and you can do it better.
Awesome. And then tell us a little about why you decided to give this lesson for today. What was the reason? Why did you pick this topic over any other topic you could have done?
Yeah, so I had been seeing during the pandemic, as I mentioned, that a lot of people were trying to find more side hustles and jobs, especially just trying to make more money, getting financial freedom, leaving a legacy for their future or current kids. I was seeing people who were unfortunately getting furloughed or laid off and trying to find what is something that I can do while I'm waiting to get that next job or how to support myself. And I always hear people thinking, like, oh, well, I didn't come from a family of attorneys, or oh, I didn't come from a rich family, or oh, this, that, and the third. Like, I don't have the things that I need. I always believe everything that you have is right there at your fingertips. Like you can be successful as long as you have God on your side and you have um a good heart and you're genuine and you have a good drive and you're ambitious. You can do anything that you want to do in life. So I really just want this to be as an encouragement for people during the pandemic.
Awesome. And a lot of people don't think that, they believe that we think we're perfect. But what areas are you still working on trying to improve in this area, this topic you're talking about today? Things that you still struggle with that maybe a common business owner would probably relate to because they're struggling too. So, understanding that though you're giving advice, it's not perfect and it will sometimes hit a wall like this.
Yeah. Um, Cindy, I'm sure you can relate with my father being at my father's law firm. It's really just he and I. And so it's really something I'm trying to improve upon is increasing our clientele base. So increasing how we market because when you own your own business or in your family business, literally you hold multiple hats. So like you're the marketing person, you're the social media person, you're the attorney, you're the secretary, the paralegal. So really is making sure that I'm helping to market it because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people know that my father is a state senator. I'm a council person, but they don't know we're attorneys as well. So I'm trying to improve our reach and our radar to people so they can have our legal services or be able to refer us to people who do need our legal services. So I believe, like you said, no one's perfect. There's always room for improvement.
Awesome. And then next, do you guys have any job opportunities that are either remote, internships, or a mentorship opportunity that you want to mention here or let other people know about?
Yeah, so we're not taking any employees right now, but I'm always open to mentoring somebody. So if you need some advice about anything law wise, law school, being in politics, I also work for the Alabama Democratic Party. Any of that, I'm open to doing that as well. We are doing free consultations right now if someone really, really needs it. So I know my email is down below, or you can call the law office at 205-322-0012. Again, 205-322-0012.
Awesome. And then the next question is going to be fun because it's all about business for this conference. How can you protect and support Black owned businesses?
We can be very intentional about where we shop and where we buy. Um, I think something that I see and something I always try to do, if you know your friend has a business, pay the full price. Don't ask for a discount or anything like that. Help your friend out. Making sure that you're, like I said, you're intentional about where you shop. Um, like for instance, Black Friday just came up. You can go and help a black business or a small business instead of going to a commercial company, for example. It's the same thing. Like for me, my family and I, it's well, it can be like a business with like a doctor. Almost all my doctors are black, and they're great doctors. But that's something to help support the black community. When you go out to eat, if you live in Birmingham, we have so many black-owned restaurants here. Go and support them. It doesn't take much out of your day. Take $10, $20 to help them out, especially during the pandemic with restaurants being closing, because you may be like, oh, well, I haven't been to my favorite restaurant in forever. Oh, they'll be fine. They have a lot of people coming in. And what's happening is actually everybody's thinking that way. And so the restaurant isn't able to get as many profits and as much revenue as they usually do, and then they have to close. So you don't even have to dine in into that restaurant. You can do takeout, or you could do yeah, you can do takeout and just say, hey, leave tips as well. So I definitely think it's being intentional about where you shop and where you eat.
Mm. I like that leave tips part. If you do have a favorite restaurant, I usually pick a few restaurants that I tip big at. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
be a good tipper at certain
Mm-hmm.
places that are black owned. I mean, that's where the people that you are looking to help, more than
Yeah.
likely just server or somebody that's going to be in the industry, that's going to need your services, and they're going to remember that you were the big tipper, the one
Mm-hmm.
who waited on every single time you came over.
Yeah.
So remember, you're trying to make an impression. So I think that's really good. The
Mm-hmm.
tips, I don't think that many people think about that. But tip well,
Yeah.
helps you be known
Yeah.
very well in the
Mm-hmm.
business community. So the next one that we have is the motivational message you wish someone gave you.
Oh, that's a good one. Hmm. I think, and I'm a very spiritual person. The first thing that popped in my mind, honestly, is I wish, and for people who are listening, maybe you're not spiritual, and I apologize in advance for that, but it's the Bible verse where God talks about having plans for you to prosper and not for you to fail. And I think that's very important, that just because what you may have planned for your life to be may not go as well, something better could be waiting on the other side of that door. I just wish somebody had emphasized more for me to be more flexible, because if you had told me 5 years ago, definitely 10 years ago, that I would be an attorney and a politician, I promise you, I probably would have laughed in your face and be like, are you sure you're talking to the right person? But because my plans didn't go as according to what I planned it to be, I had to learn to be more flexible. And also, I really thought about this, that I would tell myself that I took a gap year in between college and law school, and I felt as if I was behind, or I wasn't going to be as successful. I think a lot of people feel like that post grad, and now I've caught up to my friends, and I'm very, very successful. That don't ever compare your life to other people's life, because and you're not behind. Like, what can take somebody 5 years can take you three, or it could be the exact opposite. What can take somebody 3 years could take you 5 years. But no matter what, just stay persistent. Always know that you would be successful in the end.
Awesome. And then what drives you to transform your experiences into something positive? So you talked about your struggle to get there. What or what allows you to get to a point where you can make it something positive? Because a lot of us, we get bad hands dealt and then we just become bitter and we believe everybody's out to get us. I think even maybe you gave me that advice, like, having bad experiences with governments,
Yeah.
working with this in the past, and not wanting to ever reach out again because I've had some bad experiences with a couple people,
Mhm.
not the whole
Mhm.
people, but I've just decided I don't want to do it no more because one or two
Yeah.
bad ex.
Yeah. So first thing, if it's talking about like what you were talking about with talking to other people, I definitely believe in giving people grace, the same grace and mercy that God gave us. And a lot of times, the way someone treats you isn't a reflection on you; it's a reflection on them. And also, I think every failure or every loss is really just a learning lesson, and every win is a learning lesson. And you never know what failure or loss you can turn into a testimony to someone else. I just look at it as a learning experience and try to take that, because it takes so much more energy to be negative than positive. And being positive, it really radiates a lot of good energy and good light onto other people. And I pray every day that I am a blessing and a light to the people around me, because you never know that your positive light and your energy could literally turn someone's day around, and could make them more motivated to do the thing that they do. And then when people see that you're positive, they say, hey, well, I can be more positive, or hey, um, if she can do it, I can do it. So you never know who you can positively influence, or be just a good influence towards somebody who's younger than you, older than you, or your peers as well.
Awesome. And then this one is a fun question, but it may make you think a little. This is the $1 million idea time. So you've probably noticed some inefficiencies in your industry. And if they would just fix this one thing that you see a vision for, but they're just not listening, it could really revolutionize your industry. So what's your idea? Or what's something that you think if people would just listen more to, the things that you've seen by watching the market, what could be a way to revolutionize the industry you serve in?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm
I
trying to think.
I know, but it's one of those things where you've probably been thinking about it for a while. So usually for me, I look at inefficiencies in systems and I start trying to find solutions. And that
Yes, I do know.
yeah. So
I
as
do
soon as
know.
I say that, that's usually when people get their green light. So we usually
Yeah.
don't tell these people because a lot of the times we don't think anyone's going to listen. But you probably notice
Hmm.
somebody doing it an inefficient way, and all you want to do
Hmm.
is do it more efficiently. So what's something for you?
The criminal justice system. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Lord, the criminal justice system. Some efficiencies are um, the biases that are in our system, the bail system as well. The bail system is not friendly for people of color, um, honestly, for anybody, because a lot of times you will see a lot of people who can't make bail, and they are sitting in jail forever, and they don't deserve to do so. I definitely think, yeah, that too. Yeah, the bias. And the scales of justice is supposed to be something that attorneys and judges and prosecutors and public defenders are supposed to exhibit, but we don't. And I think it's by having more black prosecutors that would really, really help. I know a lot of people may not understand that, but prosecutors really, really have a big influence on how severe the charges that they put on people, um, how they can help out with the judge as well. And I definitely think that I definitely we need more people, more judges that have left has less bias as well. And something else I think that could really change. I don't know, Nina, you may agree, is really making sure that we educate people in the public about their rights. I think that's something I really think attorneys need to rally behind, because it will make it so much easier for us, when we have these instances coming up with people being pulled over by the police, um, or them getting charged for something they know they have the right to do. I think it'll be able to help people a lot more.
I completely agree. I definitely have nothing to disagree there. The other thing, and I'm going to be unpopular for saying this, but I really just think it's time. I think they need to change everything for weed and the prosecution behind it. I'm just tired because there are plenty of people making money off of the can.
Yeah,
Now it's been renamed the cannabis industry. Um,
yeah,
I really do think that people's sentences need to start they need to start making moves towards commuting sentences,
yeah.
things like that, because that is the most prosecuted thing against the main people who get prosecuted for are black. So I'm glad you mentioned
Hmm.
justice because that would be a great way for you guys to make it more efficient. Yes, I said it.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back, but I just think that it's just a waste of taxpayer money. I really do. I think that anything that is not a crime against any other person and putting them in harm's way,
Hmm.
I don't think that I should get the right to put them in jail or take them to prison or take their rights away, keep them from job
Hmm.
opportunities because of something that you did,
Yeah.
child, and now you're trying to lock me up for. So
Yeah.
that's just the criminal defense attorney speaking in me. I really think that needs to be revolutionized because a lot of my clients
Yeah.
have that drug issue. And I'm not saying that,
Hmm.
we should all smoke weed, but I am saying that
Hmm.
that should at least be prosecuted a little bit differently than it is.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
All right. And so we have two more questions. Do you have any offers connected to this event?
Like I said, free consultations. Just email me or call the office.
Awesome. And then just to follow up that, how can they contact you?
You can contact me for legal for my legal services. Our number again is 205-322-0012. Again, 205-322-0012. My email, I think, is down below, but it's cnsmitherman@smithermanattorneys with the s.com.
Awesome. I really, really enjoyed this talk, Crystal. I think it's
Me
just
too.
really, really simple. And one thing that you guys
Mhm.
are missing from it is that when Crystal shares it, and she's not saying this because she's very humble, but when she shares her post, it goes to all of her network of contacts, such as political leaders, big major CEOs of companies, and things like that. I think something that Crystal shared for me ended up getting the nonprofit a huge donor for the year for 2021. And I was just shocked that they had no problem with our price point and decided to go ahead and donate a huge amount of money. So again, that is the power of tapping into your networks, because a simple
Yep.
I am a personal witness of a simple share actually leading to
Mhm.
a huge donor, huge sponsor. And when Crystal shares
Yeah.
it with anybody, for some reason, you know, people who know how to tap into their networks, they trust your credibility off of one
Mhm.
share. So they will pay full price. Almost every person I have gotten a referral to from Crystal's reshare or repost has been willing to pay full price. So if you're going to share it on your markets, make sure your market, the people that you're marketing to, are also the
Mhm.
people that that person is going to need stuff,
Yeah.
not the people who are basically trying to basically drive down the price, or, you know,
Mhm.
somebody such and such, you know, just make sure that it's still the person or the contacts that, you know, you're trying to reach. Because if it's
Yeah.
not, you know, that person might be less willing to have you share their stuff. They might not care.
Mhm.
So the thing of the matter is, your share should come with conditions, and that will lead to referrals, right? Because if
Mhm.
someone gets money off of one thing you did, they're gonna refer you on pretty much everything. I mean, I'm not saying that's why Crystal here. I'm just saying Crystal and I have been friends for a while, but that's the one thing that I have noticed, is that people help people who they see results from. Um,
Yes.
that's something
Mhm.
I took away from your talk, Crystal, is that if you can see results from people, that's how you know. Like, that's how you know
Mhm.
who you're going to consistently refer business to,
Yeah.
because that's how you form those business networks. So I have nothing more, guys. I'm going to go ahead and reshare Crystal's flyer. And you guys know that we got a power packed sessions in place. So y'all know, I just have a lot of lawyer friends. That's what my kids,
Mhm.
summer camp kids would say. Miss Nina, you
Yeah.
have a lot of lawyer friends, but I just love lawyers because I am one. But next up, we actually have Jasmine Brunson, and she's talking about starting your own business with a plan. So that will be shortly. If you guys don't know, that is going to be a great talk as well. But these talks, all of them are available on YouTube. If you're watching this talk right now, it doesn't matter where you're watching it from. In the description of this talk, there is a Podia link where you can have all the speakers' information. There is a keepsake, so you can always have access to whatever talk you liked, loved. Give them feedback. Go back and watch their stuff. Crystal, you know, had a power, you know, cameo by her dog today. So, like, you know, make that go viral. Get her stuff.
Look, now he's asleep now.
Make that go viral. I'm just kidding, y'all. But for real, like, you know, make sure that you guys realize that they do a lot of work. So make sure you're sharing their stuff, because this is free. Again, this is free. This is stuff they charge for all the time. So thank you, Crystal, again. And I hope you guys are ready for Jasmine. Bye, Crystal.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Join the Zoom link after I end.